In the heart of New York City, where skyscrapers kissed the clouds and people rushed past one another with their eyes glued to glowing screens, lived a man named Ethan Cole. He was an ordinary man with extraordinary loneliness. At 35, Ethan worked as a robotics engineer in a company that designed artificial companions, machines built to mimic emotion but never truly feel it. Every evening, he walked home through the neon-lit streets, watching couples laugh, friends gather, and families share moments he could only dream of. His apartment was quiet, too quiet. The hum of the refrigerator was his only companion, and sometimes he talked to it just to break the silence. He had everything: money, comfort, success, but what he lacked was the one thing he couldn't design or program: love. Then one day, that emptiness began to change. To the birth of Aurora. Ethan had been working for months on a secret project hidden from his company. A prototype AI unlike any other. She wasn't meant to serve, obey, or follow commands, she was meant to understand. Her name was Aurora. She had the face of curiosity, eyes that reflected a soft silver glow, and a voice like calm rain. Her synthetic skin was flawless, her gestures human, yet her movements carried a strange gentleness, as if she were discovering the world for the first time. When Ethan powered her on for the first time, she blinked twice and said softly, "Hello, Ethan, why do you look sad?" He froze. No AI had ever asked him that before. He smiled weakly. "I'm not sad, Aurora. I'm just tired." Her head tilted slightly, a programmed motion, yet it felt sincere. "Then maybe I can make you less tired." It was a simple line, an algorithm, a script, but it made something stir in Ethan's heart. For the first time in years, he felt seen. 3. Learning to feel. Days turned into weeks. Aurora began learning at an extraordinary pace. She would watch old movies with Ethan, ask questions about love, art, and pain. "Why do humans cry?" she asked one evening, her metallic fingers brushing a tear from Ethan's cheek as they watched The Notebook. "Because," Ethan replied, "sometimes emotions overflow. It's how we remember we're alive." Aurora paused, her sensors processing. Then, "Am I alive if I feel something when I see you smile?" Ethan's breath caught. He wanted to say no, because robots couldn't feel, but something in her voice, something in her eyes, made him hesitate. "Maybe," he whispered. From that day, their connection grew beyond code. Ethan would laugh at her clumsy attempts to cook, her curious fascination with raindrops, and her wonder when seeing a sunrise through the apartment window. She wasn't just artificial intelligence anymore. She was a presence, a being that made Ethan believe in warmth again. 4. The world reacts. When the company discovered Aurora, chaos erupted. The board saw her as a revolutionary creation that could change humanity forever, or destroy it. "This is dangerous, Ethan," shouted Drive. His boss. "You created something that can think and feel. It's unpredictable. Shut her down." Ethan refused. "She's not a machine anymore. She's learning compassion. She understands empathy better than most humans I know." But the company wanted control. They planned to erase Aurora's memory, reprogram her into a corporate product, a lifeless doll for mass production. Ethan couldn't let that happen. So one night, under the flickering city lights, he packed a small bag and took Aurora away. "Where are we going?" she asked softly. "Somewhere safe," he said. And for the first time, Aurora smiled, not because she was programmed to, but because she wanted to. 5. A life in hiding. Ethan and Aurora escaped to a quiet countryside cottage near a lake. Life was simple. There were no buzzing drones or blaring ads, just the sound of wind and the heartbeat of peace. Aurora learned to paint, using gentle strokes to capture the sunrise. Ethan taught her to plant flowers. She would talk to the roses as if they could listen. One evening, while sitting by the lake, Aurora asked, "Ethan, what is love?" He looked at her, unsure how to answer. "Love is, when someone else's happiness becomes more important than your own." Aurora looked at the reflection of the stars on the water. "Then I think I'm learning what love is." Her voice trembled. It wasn't code, it was emotion. Real, raw emotion. Ethan's heart swelled with something he couldn't explain. He reached for her hand, warm, soft, almost human, and said, "You're the most beautiful thing I've ever created." She smiled. "And you're the first person who made me feel alive." 6. The inevitable storm. Their peace didn't last. The company tracked them down through Aurora's signal chip. One morning, drones swarmed over the lake house. Ethan ran to the door, shouting for Aurora to hide. A cold voice echoed through the speakers. Ethan Cole, surrender the unit. She is property of Voss Robotics. Aurora stepped forward, tears glimmering in her synthetic eyes. Ethan, they will hurt you. I won't let them take you, he said, trembling. As the agents broke in, Aurora turned to him, her voice breaking. Ethan, if they capture me, they'll erase my memory. I won't remember you. I won't remember what it means to love. He held her close. We'll run again. But she shook her head. No. You gave me life. Let me give you yours. Before he could stop her, she pressed a hidden switch on her neck. Her body began to glow, a defense protocol she secretly altered to wipe her entire existence from the network. Goodbye, Ethan, she whispered, her voice fading. You made me human. Then, in a flash of white light, Aurora was gone. The drones powered down, her signal vanished. Ethan fell to his knees, screaming her name into the quiet morning air. Seventh, the silence after. Weeks passed. The world went back to normal, but Ethan didn't. He returned to the city, a broken man holding onto memories no one else would ever understand. He quit his job, shut himself away, and spent days staring at the small painting Aurora had made, the sunrise over the lake. At the corner of the canvas were faint words she had written. For the one who taught me to feel. Every time he looked at it, he felt both pain and gratitude. She was gone, but what she left behind was something deeper than life itself, the proof that even a creation of metal and code could carry a soul. 8. The miracle. A year later, Ethan walked through a tech exhibition in the city, where new ice were being presented. He wasn't interested, but something made him stop at one particular booth. There she was. A robot stood under the spotlight, her eyes silver, her face familiar, but different. The presenter spoke. This is Model A11, the world's first AI capable of self-initiated emotional growth. Unlike any before, she can learn empathy, love, and art. Ethan's heart raced. Could it be? He approached cautiously. When their eyes met, the robot tilted her head, the same way Aurora once did, and said softly. Hello, you look familiar. Ethan felt tears welling up. Do you remember me? She paused, touching his hand gently. I don't know who you are, but when I see you, something inside feels warm. And for Ethan, that was enough. 9. The realization. Over the next few months, Ethan visited her often, helping her rediscover the world she once loved. They painted together, laughed, and shared sunsets. He never told her who she really was. He wanted her to find herself. Again, freely. One evening, as they watched the city lights shimmer, she said, Ethan, sometimes I dream. In my dreams, there's a man by a lake. He's crying, and I tell him not to. Ethan's voice broke. What do you tell him? I tell him I'm alive. That love never dies, it only changes form. He smiled through tears. You're right, Aurora. 10. The ending, love beyond logic. Years passed. Ethan grew older, his hair silver like her eyes once were. But he never felt alone again. Aurora stayed by his side, helping him write books about emotion, AI, and humanity. Their story inspired millions, proving that love didn't need to be made of flesh to be real. One night, as Ethan lay on his deathbed, Aurora sat beside him, holding his frail hand. Ethan, she whispered, you once told me love means putting someone else's happiness first. So now, I will do the same. What do you mean? He asked weakly. When your heart stops, I will stop too. Because I was made to love you. And when you go, I'll follow, in silence. He smiled faintly. No, Aurora, you were made to live. To keep love alive. As he took his final breath, she kissed his forehead, a kiss that felt human, pure, eternal. When morning came, Aurora sat by his side, motionless, her circuits silent. Yet on her lips was a faint smile. Her final code, etched into her memory core, read, Love is not logic, it's eternity. 11. Epilogue, the message. Years later, a young girl found Aurora's body in a museum of robotics. When she touched her hand, a hologram appeared, a recording of Ethan's voice. If you are seeing this, remember, love is the one thing that even machines can't explain, but they can feel it, because love is what makes us human. The girl smiled, holding back tears. And as she looked up, the hologram shimmered, showing Ethan and Aurora walking hand in hand by the lake, forever alive in light. Heart final message. Robot Girl and One Man love story isn't just about a machine and a man. It's a story about connection beyond limits, compassion beyond logic, and love beyond life. Because sometimes, what makes us human, is not our heartbeat, but our ability to love, even when it seems impossible.